Hey there everyone, it's Brave here again. I hope everyone around the world is having a safe, happy day or night wherever you are in the world. God bless everyone, and I wish everyone peace and protection. So I just wanted to do a little quick video just talking about how important it is to be accountable, be self-aware, and want to take accountability for when you've made mistakes. Now, even good people can make an error in judgment and do something that they regret and that they're ashamed of. At the end of the day, as long as you have the feeling of guilt and remorse, and you genuinely wish you could take it back, and you genuinely wish those horrible things didn't happen, or you didn't say any horrible things, even if it was a reaction to defend yourself. If it makes you feel bad that someone forced you to have to use abuse against them because they were abusing you first, or like reactive abuse, like if someone's swearing and nasty to me, I'm going to have to swear back at them and defend myself. That's just how it is. I'm not gonna be able to just stand there and let anyone abuse me. Like if even if I care about you, like there was a time when someone I cared about pushed me during an argument, and this is someone I never thought would do that, because they're so quiet and what's the word, like timid. They never ever showed any aggression at all during, if someone was trying to attack us, or like I was the one that had to protect us. So it really shocked me and hurt my feelings that, oh, you can't protect me when a racist is coming to hurt me. I have to punch them and teach them a lesson or swear at them. But for some reason, during a little minor argument, the person just shoved me, a bit like how a 5-year-old would shove another 5-year-old and say, give me that toy, and just shove them out of impulse. And it really upset me, and I really wanted to hit them back, because that was my first reaction, that, oh my god, someone just shoved me in in aggression. It wasn't a huge violent shove, but it was the fact that the disrespect. And I think that's what troubles me the most, is your intention. Like, intention is so important. When you carry out actions, you can make a mistake, but what was your intention that led up to the mistake? Like, what if you're, I don't know, in a relationship, and your husband doesn't give you any love and tenderness. He's just your husband on paper, but he doesn't provide for you emotionally, financially. You have to do everything yourself. So then why why bother having a husband? Why bother wearing a ring and telling everyone you're together, when the person is not fulfilling that promise to be there for you emotionally, spiritually, financially, whatever it is? You're supposed to be a team, so you might not be a kind of person who cheats, but that neglect, that emotional neglect, would make you run towards someone who is nice and kind and gives you emotional support and talks to you, because one of those very basic needs that human beings have, even from when we're kids up until we're adults, is to be loved and supported and protected, to be seen, to be heard, to be acknowledged. These are things that are super, super basic. You genuinely just want to be accepted, you want to be loved, you want to feel that you matter, that your feelings matter. So when people like I said, like when that person who I loved and cared about pushed me during a very minor, stupid argument, it really, really upset me. And I wanted to hit them back, because that was my first thought. Like, well, someone just pushed me in aggression, I have to hit them back. But then, because I cared about them, I didn't want to hurt them. I didn't want to, even if it was a shove, I would never throw anything at them or shove them or touch them, because to me it's a boundary cross, it's a disrespect. And even though we're arguing verbally, I never swore at them or disrespected them. I disagreed with them and stood my ground, but I never would have done that. So I was filled with rage at the thought. I mean, just at the feelings I had was pure rage that someone I cared about pushed me, you know, during this argument. And I really thought in my head I should hit him back. But then the love I felt, the care I felt for them as a friend, you know, it made me hold back. But then that rage was like making me want to hit stuff. So instead of hitting him, I remember I just slammed my fists on the kitchen counter, and I did it so hard, like my bracelets like broke. I had like these sort of like elasticated bead bracelets, like little crystals, like healing crystals, and I slammed my fists like thumping the counter to get out the rage, that all of a sudden there were beads flying everywhere because the movement, and I think the beads were like close to, you know, around my wrists, at the bottom of my wrists, at the top of my hands, and they were getting slammed onto the counter. So I couldn't even feel the pain of like the beads getting squashed into my wrist, because I was just thumping and thumping the counter and just screaming and swearing and like, how dare you, you know, how dare you put your hands on me while we're arguing, you know, how disrespectful, I'd never do that to you. So it was very, very, you know, he's lucky that even though I had anger issues, the care and the love for another human being, that I would protect this person. I didn't want to be the person causing them harm, but at the same time, the disrespect, it really upset me, you know, because in my mind, I would never do that to you. I would never disrespect you. I would never touch anyone I care about. Like, because you'd have to hit me first. I'm the kind of person where you have to hit me first for me to want to hit you back, even if it's a shove, you know. Like, I genuinely, you know, it's weird, I have that control where if someone says something nasty to me, I will cuss you out verbally, you know, and if you threw something, I'd definitely throw something back. But, you know, I try my best to avoid touching people. I don't want to be touched, and I don't want to touch anyone, you know, in violence. But I will defend myself, for damn sure. That's for damn sure. But it's just, you know, another thing, if someone hits you first, you get that burst of adrenaline, and then that gives you the strength to fight them off and teach them a lesson. But obviously that can be dangerous, because if they have weapons, you don't know, you know, men are obviously stronger than women, so I try not to fight men when I'm, you know, because even though I'm a very tall, tough woman, you know, I'm not invincible. So yeah, it is important to be careful, not to you know, you got to pick your battles, you know, don't be stupid and just go roaring into a fight you're going to lose. At least assess for a moment, could I win this fight, or can I at least fight them off to get away, or, you know, be smart. Because there were times in the past when I wasn't smart, when I just, you know, someone pushed me and I just flew at them, you know, even if they were a man. And obviously, you know, it didn't end the way I thought it was going to end, you know. So but yeah, like having having that self-awareness to want to improve yourself, to look at your, you know, how you react to guilt and remorse. Like, if you genuinely didn't want things to go badly, you know, between you and a friend, or you and a romantic partner, or you and family, you know, if you end up arguing and you feel guilty after, that obviously shows you have some love and care there. You wanted things to be better. You didn't want things to get to a terrible place, you know. And it's hard, because I genuinely love and care about every human being, every good soul I come across. But obviously I hate the horrible ones I come across, you know. So being a good person doesn't mean you tolerate disrespect, doesn't mean you have to love the evil people, you know. And you know, so there is that love and hate thing where, you know, you go out into the world and you want to do good, and you do good, but at the same time, you know, people, like, you might be a hero to some and a villain to others, is what I'm trying to say. Because to the bad people who I've, made sure that I taught a lesson and got revenge on, they have a definite impression that I'm the villain, even though they deserved it, so if people have gone to, one second, if people have gone to extra lengths to if people have gone to extra lengths to go out of their way to hurt you, betray you, do anything bad to you, and you didn't deserve it, you didn't incur it, you didn't you didn't do anything to them, then they should expect some retribution. They should expect that someone's gonna take revenge on them, or it's just one of those things I find strange, that people will treat you like shit and then be shocked when you're angry with them. Like, how are you going to be shocked that I want to get my lick back, or I want to get revenge on you, or I want to make you regret it? Like, how are you shocked by that? It doesn't really make sense. But it's kind of usually toxic people who feel that way. It's, one second. Yeah, so like I said, like, when you're a person of good heart, you're a person of with pure heart, pure intentions, it doesn't mean you're a wimp, you know what I mean? It doesn't mean you have to tolerate abuse. Being a good person is all about, one second, you can turn around.
Yeah, I got to.
No, oh, you passed it. Could have turned around there. Okay, never mind. Sorry, we're driving home. It's like we went to cinema and we're just driving home and trying to turn around. But yeah, what I think what people should always remember is, be nice and be kind. Don't do any harm on purpose, but at the same time, do not allow anyone to mistreat you. Do not allow anyone to abuse you. At the end of the day, you deserve respect, and you deserve the kindness you give others. And if you go out of your way to help others and do no harm, then you have every right to defend yourself and demand to be treated fairly. There's nothing wrong with you being treated fairly and demanding that fair treatment, because too many people really do have this kind of weird toxic feeling that it's okay to go around destroying people because they were hurt. Like, they think, well, I was hurt and no one cared about me, and so that's why that's my excuse. I'm gonna go around destroying others because I've been hurt. And yes, I can understand why some people would feel that way. Oh, one second. Okay, I don't want to blind other drivers. Yeah, so I can understand why people would try and use that as an excuse, because there's times in the past where I was severely betrayed, severely abused, by family, violently attacked by family, or or people who didn't have any right to put their hands on me. And obviously, like, when you're a kid, you couldn't fight back against your family because you were just a powerless child. But when I was a grown-up, if any asshole touched me, I will break their hands off. Like, no one's going to touch me and get away with it, that's for damn sure, because I have anger issues and I wouldn't even be able to control myself, because you shouldn't be touching me, and my brain and anger issues would know that and want to make you regret it. But I hate when people push me to that point. I don't want to hurt anyone, but I will not be hurt anymore. Like, I'm not that little kid who my family used to beat up for no reason because they were sick, abusive narcissist, you know. Like, once you're a grown up, you are responsible for protecting yourself, you're responsible for your own healing, you know. And yes, it wasn't your fault what people did to you, and I can understand the feeling of wanting to get revenge on the world because no one protected you, and you know, and many times it can feel like the world is against you most of the time, just because there are so many horrible people out here bothering and hurting people for no reason, you know. So but yeah, it's just really important to take accountability when, you know, when you have fallen out with people who you care about. You know, if you do feel guilt and remorse, you know, try and make amends. There's no shame in, you know, saying I'm sorry, I was wrong, you know, or I let my anger get the better of me, or I regret that happened that way, you know, and mean it. Like, fake apologies are so pointless. Like, if you're not going to change your behavior, then what's the point? Like, I think people need to stop the fakery. Like, people think, oh, all I need to say to this person is, oh, I'm sorry, I'll never do it again, when they know they're going to do it again. I mean, just be honest. Like, I would respect someone more if they were honest. And like say if you met someone, I don't know, at a bar, and instead of them making all these fake promises, future faking, and like, I really like you, I'd like to date you, and when really they just want to sleep with someone, I'd rather someone just be upfront and honest. And if that's what you're down with, then fine, the two of you have an agreement. But I can't stand a kind of, you know, narcissistic, toxic person who future fakes and gives people false hope. For what? Like, just to sleep with them and then ghost them and treat them like crap. What are you doing that for? Just be honest, you know. And because there's plenty of people out here who will go along with that. You don't even have to lie to anyone. But, you know, most people are aware that, oh, I won't get my way unless I lie to people, and, you know, but there's enough loose people out here that will just go along with that. Like, so why you know, trick the good people who aren't okay with that? They have the right to protect themselves from, you know, protect their energy and their feelings from being hurt. You know, don't trick good people, because just like how, you know, you wouldn't want to be tricked or coerced into something you didn't want. Why are you tricking the good people into you know, you're tricking good people into believing lies, you know, future faking, fake promises, and you're not giving them the option to say, no, this is not what I want, you know. But you know you don't want anything more than to use them like a service provider, and that's not fair. So, you know, anyone who goes out there intentionally lying, intentionally tricking people, you need to look at why you're doing that. Why do you not feel, you know, you're not being fair? Like, you wouldn't like someone to come into your life and trick you and make you, you know, go against your will and your natural choices, you know, but you're convincing them of a lie, and that makes them go along with it because they think it's real. They don't know it's a lie, you know. It's like if I meet someone and I say, I love you, I want to have kids with you, when I know I can't have kids, you know, and then we keep trying for kids for years, and the other person's like, what's happening, why aren't we conceiving or whatever, when I know I can't have kids, you know. It's like that example. Or, you know, a man saying, like, I don't know, a man who's having an affair, he's married, the woman keeps saying, you know, he tells her, you know, I'm in a loveless arranged marriage, and you know, I'm going to leave the wife though, don't worry, I'm going to leave the wife. You know, why are you bothering wasting that person's time, knowing that person's attached to you, they're, you know, in love with you, whatever. Like, it's so sad to see how human beings just use each other. And it's weird, because why do you want to cause harm to anyone, you know, whether it's like emotional harm or physical harm? Because people underestimate how damaging it is to be emotionally abused or verbally abused, or, you know, because if someone's told every day, like, you know, they're not good enough, a weaker person, a weaker personality, a weaker energy will believe that crap, that lie. You know, I mean, I was, you know, mistreated by my family, and they really did try and convince me, like, they were violent, but they were also verbally abusive, and it was like constant. And it was like they really tried to convince me I wasn't good enough, I wasn't worthy of love, I was a kid who deserved to be beaten and hurt and neglected. And I knew it was wrong. I knew I hadn't done anything to deserve this. I knew they were wrong, you know. And it was just weird how, why are grown people trying to convince a 7-year-old child they're not worthy of love? When you brought the child here, you gave birth to the child didn't ask to be here. You know, what a sick, narcissistic, malignant, sadistic psychopath. Like, this is the sad thing. Like, there are too many unstable creatures walking around here, having kids, you know, abusing the kids, you know, abusing their partners, abusing their friends, abusing their family. Like, what is going on? Like, it's like I saw someone did a meme, or someone said a quote where they said, like, I'm sure this planet is where other planets put their mentally unstable people or something. And another person, what was it they said? They said that when they were in high school, all the, you know, people with mental issues or who were in the remedial class or something, they were separated from the regular people, you know, who were you know, normal and had normal functioning brains, right? So the people who the people who oh, can you face that one? No, actually face that one. Or is it not wide enough? One sec. Right, so yeah, the people who were, you know, in the, you know, no, but just, yeah, the people who were mentally ill or not, you know, not able to, they had learning difficulties, or, you know, they weren't stable mentally, but they were in high school. And he was saying, like, back in high school, you knew who, you knew who the people were, and everyone was separated and whatever. But then after high school, they just released them out into the world, you know. So you had all these people who are mentally unstable, you know, who have not been given the help they need to become stable. Then they go out and have kids and have the, you know, have unstable relationships and stuff. And then, so he was saying, you know, when anyone tries you, it's probably them remedial people who, you know, didn't get the help they needed in school, didn't get the support from family, you know, were from weird, you know, backgrounds that, you know, it made their condition worse, you know. So, you know, I'm not laughing at anyone who has any mental issues or learning difficulties, but I just could relate to that. When the guy said that, I thought, yes, you're right. When we were in school, everyone was separated, and you knew, okay, oh, those people over there, oh, that's why they're acting up, that's why they're not, you know, acting, you know, normally, you know, there's a reason. But yeah, it's just so strange how much just animosity there is in the world for no reason. Like, people go out of their way to hurt people for no reason. You could, I mean, you have to worry just walking down the street in London, because, you know, you could accidentally bump into someone and they want to stab you. And then you think, well, I haven't seen, you know, like, say when there's like race riots and things, because there was some recently, some race riot sparked up out of nowhere. And it was all fueled by false information and in regards to a terrible incident that happened where 3 kids were sadly murdered by an evil individual. And that evil individual has nothing to do with all the other people living in London who are the same colour as that person. But because that person happened to be a different colour from the poor victims, people made it a racial thing or a religious thing, even though it's about good against evil. This person was evil and he did a terrible thing. It was nothing to do with colour. And yet when people of the same color, you know, do stuff, they're not attacking. Usually, like, basically the people who started the race riot were the people of white English descent mostly. Now, when a white guy kills some kids, no one starts attacking all the white men. You know what I mean? But because this guy happened to be a brown person who took the lives of Caucasian children, then suddenly every brown person is evil, which is bull crap, because I've never hurt a person in my life. I've been protecting everyone my whole life. And I've been the victim most of my life, but I fought back, you know? So it was really disgusting and weird to see that people could use the death of these poor innocent victims to fuel racial hatred that they feel, that had nothing to do with the situation as it stood. And even the family of the victim said, we didn't ask anyone to rise up and start racial tension. We're not racist, so we didn't even want that. How dare you use our kids' lives being taken as a reason to cause hatred? You see what I mean? So, you know, it should be about good versus evil. It should never be about like people's hidden agendas, their little secret, vile hidden agendas. Because, you know, why is it that innocent people are getting hurt? Like, we had a carnival called Notting Hill Carnival in London, and this poor woman, she's only 32, beautiful woman, looked like Rihanna, you know, and she's at the carnival with a 3-year-old, and then she witnesses some other gang of like men or young men like in their 20s trying to attack another guy. So she sees knives in their hand and they're trying to stab the guy who's, you know, on his own. So it's like, you know, 5 against 1 or something. So she thought, being, you know, because she's pure of heart and a good soul, she thought, well, I'm a woman, I'm with my baby, if I put myself between them and be a peacemaker, they'll never hurt me because I'm a innocent mother with a baby, with her child. But they stabbed her and she bled out and died 3 days later, you know? Like, even when they tried to save her and give her blood transfusion and whatever, it was too late, it didn't work. And now her poor child has no mum. You know, it's just sick. And why would they do that to her? Why take her life? Even if they hit her, you know, even if they hit her, kicked her, but she, you know, but the fact that they would stab her, and I mean, she managed to save that guy, I suppose, but then it's so evil that why would they feel comfortable doing that? It just goes to show you, because she had no beef with them. She had no, you know, she didn't know them. She wasn't part of their argument. She just said, please, no, don't stab this person. Put herself between them. And they stabbed her. You know, how evil can you get? You know, and my heart really broke when I read that. But that's just one of many terrible stories that is going on around the world. You know, sadly, she's not even the worst victim. There are even worse things going on in the world. Just like me, I've had a terrible life and I'm not even the worst victim. That's how sad it is. You know, so yeah, you just have to try your best to be a good person, even though this sick, evil world wants to force you to be, you know, like some kind of crazy nutcase to cope with it. But, you know, despite all the, oh, I got some nice pizza. Yeah, despite all the, evil that's around you, do not become the evil you're fighting against. Do not become, the thing you hate. You know, obviously defend yourself, and defending yourself, and, you know, even taking revenge, if it's like what do they call it, righteous anger, righteous vengeance. You know, there are certain situations where an eye for an eye is applicable and necessary, you know, where revenge is necessary. I don't see I don't have a problem with revenge. If someone, you know, killed my child and I could get to them, you know, I would take revenge, because how dare you kill my child? You know, I mean, there's so many, it's so sad, because like, you see how in the country, in different countries like America, Europe, you know, England, like a mother could go and, you know, kill their child's murderer and she'll get put away for a long time. They won't consider the emotional distress that pushed her to do that, you know what I mean? But yeah, when the murderer was caught, he didn't even get life, you know? He might have got a shorter sentence than the mum who took the life of the murderer. Do you know what I mean by that? Like, it's just weird. Like, you know, if someone's done something horrific and, you know, shot a load of people in a school, or, you know, and they don't even get the death penalty or life imprisonment, you know? This is horrific. This is like, you got people who have non-violent drug offences in prison longer than murderers. How does that work? And these murderers could be released, and the second they're released, they go and hurt someone again. The minute they're released, they find a victim. The first person who crosses their path, they hurt, or worse. Who let these people out? It's disgusting. It's very hard, you know. You want to be a good person and you want to go out into the world and feel safe, you know, but at the same time, if you have to take revenge, you have to take revenge. If you have to defend yourself with violence against violence, sometimes it's necessary, you know. I mean, it's like when I used to read, you know, Malcolm X, you know, quotes and things about, like, watched interviews he did, and like watched Malcolm X, Martin Luther King stuff, and Gandhi, you know, talking about non-violent protests. And then I used to say to my friends, like, who would you pick if you were alive in that time where there was so much unrest and civil rights atrocities? Like, would you pick the non-violent protest, or would you be like Malcolm X, any means necessary? And in my mind, I'd have to be on Malcolm X's side, because I'd rather go down fighting. I'm going to die fighting like my ancestors. I'm not going to sit there and let people dragging me about and beating me and I'm just sitting there. And that's no disrespect to the civil rights movements, the ones who did do the non-violent protests. It's just I wouldn't be able to sit there and have some racist dragging me about. I would automatically, if you shove me, if you hit me, if you hurt me, I'm going to have to go down fighting, and we're both dying tonight, because I know you're not going to stop it and I'm not going to stop. So it's a fight to the death, sadly. And, you know, and it's very hard, because, like, you don't want a civil war, a race war. Of course not. You don't want constant fighting, you know, between all the communities. That's not good either. But at the same time, who are these evil people to step on good people, you know? And it isn't black against white, you know, white against Chinese, Chinese against Indian. It's not about that. I'm not trying to stir up racial hatred, not at all. I'm just talking facts about the world and things that I've seen and experienced. And, you know, because I'm multiracial, so I love and accept everyone. I live and let live. I don't care what race you are, what sexuality you are, what you know, religion you are. If you're good, I'm with you. If you're evil, I'm against you. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, to me, it's just such a shame that there's this huge division where it feels like, you know, people of a certain race are in power all the time and step on everyone else. And that's not fair. You know, it's awful and sad. But yeah, but I just want to make it clear, you know, I love and accept all races. Everyone's welcome on my channel. And at the end of the day, I just want everyone safe, no matter what race they are. I want everyone to be safe and happy and protected. And yeah, but that's all for this video. If you would like to look through the rest of my channel, there's plenty of other videos, lots of much happier subjects, more positive words, like words of wisdom and positive quotes and different things like that, and talking about my different life experiences and helpful tips and hints about life. So yeah, just have a look through my channel if you have time, and like and share and subscribe if you come across anything that made you smile, made you feel uplifted, made you think. And yeah, that's it. So God bless everyone in the world, and I'm wishing everyone love, peace and protection. Bye for now.